Welcome to Poole Harbour's Bird and Recreation Initiative, aka BARI. This video gives a brief overview of the project and its aims. So our project is managed by the Urban Heath Partnerships on behalf of Dorset Council and BCP, and we're advised by Natural England. The strategic planning document from 2019 to 2024 states that we are to facilitate projects that stop or mitigate the adverse recreational effects of urban development on Poole Harbour and its overwintering bird populations, and the SPD underpins everything that we do in this project. So Poole Harbour is an SPA, triple SI, has wetland sites, Ramsar wetland sites, and the harbour spans more than 2,000 hectares of intertidal mudflats, salt marsh and reed beds, and all of these are essential habitat for wildlife. The SPD sets out a recreation zone that basically states development within a 5-kilometre radius of the SPA must make contributions via SAMs and SIL per household, and in the SPD time frame from 2019 to 2024, there's a combined total of just under 4,000 new homes to come forward across BCP and DC areas. So there's an increased need for recreational mitigation. So the Poole Harbour supports over 20,000 wildfowl and waders, and there's around 60 different species that come to the harbour in winter. 17 of these are considered to be national or international importance, but also many more of these are on the RSPB red list. So they're really important species to be protecting. In 2019, Footprint Ecology were hired to do a recreational disturbance study in Poole Harbour, and this study came back with a few key things that we are to focus on in this project. It stated that 70% of activities on that intertidal line, on that shoreline, caused disturbance, and that birds were responding around 2.3 times per hour. So there's a real need for mitigation around this shoreline when birds are feeding, because this is obviously a big volume of disturbance happening every single hour. The top target users that we are going to focus on are dog walkers, but of course there are other land-based disturbance that happens. And within the water sports community, it's the paddle-powered vessels that seem to be causing a lot of the immediate problems, but of course wind and motor-powered vessels are also going to be targeted later on. So the types of projects that we will be taking on based on that footprint ecology research is raising awareness through on-site engagement with wardens and volunteers. So at the moment, this winter, we have 1 full-time volunteer, 2 part-time dog-focused wardens, and they will be having volunteers that help them. We also have maps and leaflets that we will be giving out to people with all of the information on it, and digital campaigns and social media. Aside from raising awareness and engagement, we'll be looking to do site improvements. So these are things like improving signage around the harbour, zoning areas seasonally, working with land managers to do that, and having infrastructure improvements that maybe draw people to less sensitive areas and away from more sensitive areas. We'll be monitoring all of this, identifying disturbances and the impacts on birds, and we'll also be monitoring our successes and any potential failures or challenges that happen. So we, as I briefly mentioned before, will be working in partnership with land managers and other conservation organisations around the harbour. This includes RSPB, the Wildlife Trust, Birds of Poole Harbour, National Trust and Dorset Dogs. But we'll also be focusing on recreation businesses and communities within the harbour, because the project cannot work without their support and without them being on board. So we'll be working with businesses like Shore Thing, Rockley Water Sports, and communities like Passion for Paddleboards, as well as the Poole Harbour Kayak and Canoe Club. And these are really our target partners. So we will be supporting community-led projects, encouraging local organisations, land managers and communities to develop projects of their own that raise awareness about bird disturbance and/or promote responsible recreation and of course monitor these impacts. So hopefully that's given you a whistle-stop tour of the Poole Harbour recreation mitigation. And if you have any questions and would like to know anything about this project or potentially mitigation work within this kind of coastal remit, please do get in contact. Thank you. Goodbye.